like a rag doll out there. He's just not built like look at the way Cam Reddish is built. Like these dudes are monsters, man. Like that's the issue to me. Yeah. Right, and none of them are your traditional back to the basket power forward. That doesn't exist. Those guys that like if Chris Webber came up in this time, he would be a 3-point shooting, have some kind of sick dribble. He would play completely different from the way he played from starting in the mid '90s with Michigan. That guy would have a completely different lease on life. He would have came up in the AAU doing something completely different, taking advantage of skills that were probably wasted in the NBA. But now those guys who are 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", these guys have handle. They 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 shoot from deep. They don't play back to the basket, and you have to have, you know, Zach Lowe said it best. In the NBA today, it's who's going to have the guy that stops the other team's unstoppable big wing. We have an unstoppable big wing in KD. We don't have someone who stops unstoppable big wings, and that's what the smartest guys who talk about basketball are saying, and I agree with them. That's why our defense looks like crap, and there's no periods of time. Like we can't get a stop on demand. Golden State Warriors used to do this thing. And Sam, sorry, I'm running my mouth, but and we'll get to the three things after this. But the Golden State Warriors used to do this thing where they would just unleash Draymond. Putting Draymond at the five didn't just give a scoring option. It just gave him a lease on life to go out there and guard whoever. And we don't have that guy. We don't have that person who's just gonna go out there and get a stop for us. At least not yet. Jarrett tries, but most of it is what comes to him. He can't go and just stand in front of the best guy and guard him. And so you know, I'm so thrilled about this win because it says one thing is true. We are the best offense in the NBA. When we're healthy, we are the best offense in the NBA. But I don't know if we have a championship defense, man. I don't know. What could we do that could change it, Sam? Do we want? I mean, should should we want to have Kevin Durant on Giannis? Am I overestimating how physical Giannis is? Hmm. Shem Shem had a great game, but you know what I would do? I'll play Nick Claxton. Yeah, I'm wondering. He has tendonitis. Wow, I didn't know it was that bad. I mm, oh 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 yeah. Yeah, nah, I think organizationally they just don't believe in physicality. And I was saying it on Twitter. I just was talking about this, um, where you could name teams that were just physical teams that have succeeded in playoffs. Most recently, it's the Miami Heat. The other team is like, of course, the Detroit Pistons, who won it all, just being a defensive juggernaut. These guys, um, as a finesse, we're a finesse team, and I don't know many finesse. I can't even think of a finesse team besides maybe the Showtime Lakers. The Showtime's Lakers, who had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So I don't know if you could count that as a finesse team, but I don't. Can we win with this D'Antoni ball? I don't see it, Sam. I don't know if we could win with this D'Antoni ball at all. Excuse me, my allergies is killing me. Um, uh, but it just doesn't seem possible. Go ahead and give me your player that had the most to do with shaping the way this game came out. Did you say Shamit? Jarrett. Uh, past your bedtime, huh, son? Tonight, I thought I was gonna give it to Taurean Prince. He played really well. I want to shout him out. And we're very hard on him, and he's played like crap most of the season. But when he balls like that, man, he looks like he could be a big part of what we do. But I just wonder if he's just physically mismatched. He was standing next to Cam Reddish, and I just was going, my God, it looks like 1970s basketball versus 2020 basketball, and I'm not going to hold that against him because he scored, he did his thing, he showed a lot of effort, but undoubtedly it's Jarrett Allen for me too. I have to echo those sentiments. He has been the third best net. Karras has been the fourth best net. Jarrett Allen has been the third best net, and I do not understand why they're playing games by having him come off the bench. It's silly right now. And the Nets had to overcome that mistake, and they had to overcome DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan needs to be reeled in. He's going to be very important in the playoffs. I would try to bottle his best games for the playoffs when things slow down and things bog down, and you're going to need that type of guy. But right now, he's hurting the Nets, and he's and that's where the game changed. Look, we don't like plus minus. We say it all the time. It's a tricky stat because a player doesn't get to choose, who he plays with. But this one is just way too evident. DeAndre Jordan was -8 tonight, right? -8, the worst plus minus on the team. Jarrett Allen, on the other hand, was +8 tonight. Like, it's simple math. When DeAndre was on the floor, he was hurting the team. And there was some little short moments he looked kind of good. He would do little DeAndre Jordan-ish type things. But he's just not fast off the floor. He just can't chase guys around on the floor anymore. It's beyond him. And it's not because he's a bad player. It's just because he's an old player. Jarrett was important tonight because Kyrie won the game. Don't get me wrong. Kyrie won the game tonight. And Kevin Durant mentioned that. But he also mentioned Jarrett Allen for the third time in a row. And I hope that's not missed on anyone. I think a lot of the press makes things up and just guesses, oh, that's KD's boy. He wants him to start, so that's why he's starting. That's lazy journalism. If you believe that, if you're a reporter who has the guts to write that or even say that on Twitter, and you're an Access journalist, then you have to have the guts to ask Kevin Durant to his face, did you ask for DeAndre Jordan to start, and do you think it's working out? If you have the guts to repeat that rumor without any evidence, you should have the guts to ask that question as a journalist. And nobody